Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Jam DeMatteis, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
That's right, kids. Welcome back to the final week of Defenduary. Here on Marvel Tales. I am Phil, and joining me as always, Defender for a minute. I hope not. It is.
Just swooping back in to talk with Phil about the Defenders, and this is a story that I picked this week.
Yes. I'm glad you picked this one. This is good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yes, because we are covering Defenders 112 through 114, because I think this is the lead up to the Squadron Supreme miniseries or maxi series or whatever it is.
I think it is. Yeah, I think this was right before that, wasn't it? Yeah.
Because I think they do talk about the Overmind, like basically, messing up the world, which I think that happens here. So yeah, I never read this, but I read the Squadron Supreme. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, was this your first time reading this story?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. Oh,
yeah,
nice.
My first. Yeah, like I said, I have huge chunks of that. There's more Defenders I haven't read than I have read. So.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that. That's cool. Very nice.
But I'm trying to remember. Oh, there must be I don't know what it covers or what, but there must either it's come out or it's coming out. There must be another collection of Defenders coming out with some of the DeMatteis stuff, because I know he did. I saw he posted on social media about there was a collection coming out, or it might be coming out, because I don't know if he was trying to write a forward or something, or I forget.
Maybe a new
something. Yeah.
Oh well. I wonder if it's an epic collection then, because they usually don't write. They usually don't write forwards. I
can't remember if it was a forward. He was doing something for it, or I forget what he was doing. But yes, I can't remember if it was an epic collection or not. But yeah, so there might be more collection of Defenders coming out, kids. And again, of course, these are all Marvel Unlimited. So
yes, and they look great on there.
And sometimes you can hunt these down in the dollar bins and stuff, because I did
That's true.
Recently find a few, I found 2 or 3 more new Defenders issues in the back. So.
I have found actually the majority of the Defenders issues that I own come from dollar bins.
I know, yeah. Well, again, I mean, a lot of this was before our time, so
yeah, definitely. But the Defenders are kind of and we've talked about this before on the other episodes in Defenduary, but they're I don't know, they're not as, they don't get as much love as
Ring in the New Year. No, you should have said O-Ring in the New Year.
Yeah. They don't get as much love as the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, the X-Men. They kind of get relegated to their own little special corner of the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like they're almost the Avengers, but not quite,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were their headquarters wasn't a mansion. Well, is Doctor Strange's place a mansion?
For
a while they were at a riding academy.
Oh, yeah.
I think Lilith is still laughing about that one. That's all right. Lilith and I this morning were just recording the Hulk episode for Ultimate Spider Cast for Defenduary over there, and
I
probably took 5 minutes trying to explain to her about the elf with the gun stuff.
Oh yeah,
I'm no one knows what Gerber was up to.
Yeah, not even Steve Gerber.
I want to see a thesis paper by Noel Tate on it. Yeah, that whole elf thing.
Oh yeah.
The O is implied. Well, I'm sure it is.
There was a whole episode that was done on that elf with a gun.
Yes, we did talk to Noel about that.
Yeah.
Lil and the elf. Ha ha ha. I think that's on her hard drive. Anyway. Oh my God, I'm not going to recognize her because No, I don't know if you heard any recent episodes. She's training for a marathon at the end of this year. So like,
Oh, is she? Oh, no
she's
kidding.
trying to cut out caffeine and like watching what she eats and stuff. And I'm like, who are you?
Well, I'm all on board with watching the caffeine because I need to do that too. Yeah. Yep.
And I don't know
think
if
all of us should probably have less caffeine than we intake on a daily basis.
and I thought she was saying something about cutting. I don't know if she was cutting out cannabis or just the smoke kind. I don't know, but
Oh well, I'm cutting back on the smoke kind too. My lungs are getting
well,
weak.
that's what I always say. All of you guys who do it, I mean, I don't care, but I just wish, eat it instead of smoke. Smoke of any kind is good for you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. My lungs are definitely showing their age. So yeah, I've been
either eat it or drink it,
eating it or drinking it, and candies, brownies. Yeah, it's lovely for people with affections for sweets and cannabis. It's a lovely combination of both.
Oh, Noel says if he cut down on coffee if he would.
It's tough.
Well, now we all know. Now we all know how Ray feels with Marvel Snap. and certain other things.
Batman, my favorite character.
Happy New Year, Ray. Oh, you see, I tried to entice him with. I said you need to send in feedback for the next We Are the Night episode because we're coming to.
Oh yes,
and I just said
Deathstroke the Terminator beating up on Batman.
Crap out of Batman, drawing blood. Ray's like, "Oh, my new favorite."
I never knew Deathstroke was so cool until now.
I cannot wait for that when Ray does a new show just on random characters who have beaten Batman. It'd be like Deathstroke and Bane and just.
Well, I remember years and years ago, back when it was Ben Affleck. He was going to do a movie. Ben Affleck was going to do a Batman movie that was, I think he was going to write it and direct it and do all of it. And I remember that the villain for that movie was going to be Deathstroke.
Oh, yeah.
I remember thinking, okay, you know what? I'm actually on board for this. I want to see this. Like, I want to see Batman Deathstroke because that would be kick-ass if it was done well.
Oh yeah, because they did. Joe Manganiello did show up as Deathstroke at the end of Justice League.
There was on the boat there, right? Yeah, so I thought, man, that would be good if it was done well.
Yeah, I would have
hope that somebody picks that up later on and does that. Because
come on, James.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see it.
Well, you know who's going to pick that up, right?
Joe Manganiello King.
Yeah, as Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noel says you guys got to do Wondar. I demand
Wondar, the space hippie.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I mean, I'm always down for Quasar. There's an issue of Quasar where he shows up. I think he was the Aquarian by then or something. But yeah.
Aquarian.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was when he was wearing he had.
Oh yeah, because I know he showed up in Quasar, and before that, what was it? Marvel Did he show up in? I think Marvel 2-in-1 with Ben.
Marvel 2-in-1, yeah. But his look had evolved from, I think he wore some basic hippie outfit to eventually he got a full blown costume with these big flowing sleeves and things.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, well, by the time Quasar meets him, he's like, I don't want to say a cult, but he's trying to teach people how to I don't know. He found him on a beach, meditating with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a Marvel podcast. I'm talking about Ray's favorite. I know. I was thinking that. Trying to get Ray to listen to this. Okay.
That's right.
Because Ray's banging his head into the wall. Don't like that. Maybe Finn will listen. All right. Should we get to these Defenders issues?
Yes. There's a lot of story packed into these 3 issues, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the second and third issue. I love when you have to open an issue with oh yeah, where we're at. We're on a parallel Earth, and
yeah.
You have to explain a whole history of what's happening on this parallel Earth and stuff.
In case you missed it,
may look like Earth, but this is not our Earth.
Right.
All right. So, Defenders 112 through 114. So Defenders 112 from October 1982. Strange visitor from another planet. Oh my lord! I told Lilith this morning. I said if Ray lived any further away from us, he would be on another planet. And Lil said, she goes, I think Australia is another planet. All right. So yes, writer, friend of the show, J.M. DeMatteis, penciler Don Perlin, inker Mike Gustavich, colorist George Rosis, letterer Shelley Lefferman, and editor Al Milgram. All right. Boy, I'm glad we're not going to be talking anything that even resembles DC in this episode. No. See, it's kind of tangential. All right.
It is, yeah.
The Beast invites the Vision and Scarlet Witch to have dinner with the Defenders, because we need more heroes on our side, when they are summoned by Doctor Strange, who transports them all to a parallel world called Earth S. It is here that Strange found Hulk, Submariner, and Son of Satan, who had been teleported there by Hyperion. Valkyrie assumes that Hyperion is the same villain from her Earth who is part of the Squadron Sinister. I love how there's two Hyperions. Having been to Earth S before, the Vision and Beast explained that this Hyperion is part of the Squadron Supreme, a similar group of heroes currently comprised of Hyperion, Power Princess, Dr. Spectrum, Wizard, Golden Archer, Lady Lark, Captain Hawk, Amphibian, Tom Thumb, Arcana, and Nuke. So basically Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash, Green Arrow, Lady Lark, Black Canary, Hawkman, Aquaman, the Atom, Zatanna, and Firestorm.
Yes. Exactly in that order.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Avengers had previously liberated the squadron from the mental control of the Serpent Crown, which had been worn by their president, Nelson Rockefeller. All right, here's where Noel starts typing about Nelson Rockefeller. All right. After that, the squadron's Nighthawk, aka Cal Richmond of Earth S, had been elected the new president, but soon fell under the control of the alien Overmind. Richmond claimed that the FBI and CIA had uncovered a foreign conspiracy to overthrow the U.S. government from within, which was a ruse to fool the public. Overmind also took control of the squadron members, except for Hyperion, who teleported to safety. But Hyperion soon discovered that President Richmond had accused him of being a foreign spy, so no one would believe his story. With the power of the Overmind in the squadron, the U.S. soon conquered the other nations of the world. Weakened by Argonite poisoning, kryptonite, Hyperion sought to transport the Avengers to Earth S for help, but accidentally brought the Defenders instead. Although Nighthawk has no knowledge of how he came to Earth S after the destruction of August Master's base. Remember last episode, kids?
Yeah. He's back.
Nor does he know that Masters was brought here. He has agreed to help and convinces the other Defenders to join him. With Earth under his control, the Overmind constructs a base on the moon with rockets intended to conquer other planets as well. And no, you'll appreciate this. I was reading this. I was like, could our elected officials these days be under alien control? That would explain a lot.
Overmind's pulling some strings here.
This one's for you, Lil. Just including that tramp, Lauren Boebert. That's the running gag now, kids. I got to make a Lauren Boebert joke. Like she needs the help.
Right.
The
material writes itself.
I was kind of feeling around for that one, or should I say feeling up? You're welcome, Noel. You're welcome, Noel.
Let me take a wild grope in the dark for that one.
Wow. You know what that guy said in that dark theater? You know what he said?
Does boobs scare me?
The finest American plastics. All right. Anyway, thoughts on this issue, Justin?
Of course, I love this because I picked this story. But I actually, when I was a kid, I had read the third part first.
Oh,
the end of it. That was like when it came out. This is one of the first comic books I got when I was a kid, because in '83 I would have been like 6 or 7. And I had no clue what was going on whatsoever in the story when I was reading it. So years later, when I went back and read it, I was like, wow, this story is really cool. Like, I didn't realize there was so much going on here. And I didn't also realize just how many characters are involved in this. I mean, in addition to the regular Defenders cast, or quote unquote regular Defenders cast,
Yeah.
we've got the Vision and the Scarlet Witch in there.
Yep.
We've got Son of Satan back. We've got Namor back. We've got the Hulk back. Doctor Strange, a new costume for Nighthawk. I mean, there's a lot going on here. And then you get Hyperion telling a story about what's going on the other Earth. It's wild. Yeah, it's really it's amazing that J.M. DeMatteis fit this all into 3 issues.
I know modern comics could never. I mean, just and every cover, and I mean, I'm just looking at all the pages for the first issue. I mean, there is not a panel in this book that's not busy.
Yes.
There's not a wasted panel in this book.
Right. And even all of his dialogue, like the dialogue isn't there's not too much dialogue. It's not overused.
Yeah.
Yeah, Al Milgram did a good job with Edison as far as that all of the dialogue that is used is justified. It's justified that it's there. It makes sense that it's there.
But again, modern comics, you never see this much dialogue.
Right. All the caption boxes, yeah, you wouldn't see half as many of those, yeah. What did you think? This is your first time reading this one?
I knew I'd love this one. Yeah, once I knew what it was. Yeah, especially because, like I said, I knew I'd read that Squadron Supreme series, which we'll have to get to that someday. But
yeah, I'd love that. Yeah,
I mean, I never read this, so it's nice to read the follow up. And again, I love J.M. DeMatteis' writing. I love these characters. It was nice to fill in the blank to something I hadn't read. And again, I love when they do Squadron Supreme stuff. And
yeah, have to laugh at the Wizard though. One of the most unfortunate superhero names in the history of creation, the Wizard.
Why? Just because he wears a yellow costume?
They could have at least made a different shade of yellow.
Well, at least this one, there's some blue on there. I mean, that early one,
that's true.
Pretty much all yellow, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. There's at least some blue on here. Yeah. I love Dr. Spectrum's costume. That's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Although that's a lot of color. Well, I guess because Prism, the power, you gotta have a lot of colors, but yeah, I just think it's funny that this team has endured for how long because somebody somewhere back in the day wanted the Avengers to fight the Justice League. So
yeah, I can't remember who created the Squadron Sinister or Supreme, whichever one came first.
Oh, thank you.
I love that. I love that it's endured for this long because of that one concept. Yeah.
Besides saying these issues are great, Noel said, "I love I love Defenders. I love a good boomer show." Well, stay tuned.
That's right.
Yeah, me and Wolf are trying to make that the running gag, Noel. So you're welcome.
I love it.
All right. So. Yeah, but I mean, this one was good, but a lot of setup because Hyperion has to tell them, how his Earth came to this fate, and
most of this issue is him telling his story, telling the story about what happened on his planet. And I remember being really surprised the first time I read this at how quickly and easily the Overmind defeated the whole squadron. Completely laid waste to them. I remember thinking, man, this character is powerful. This is like Jack Kirby character level style powers here.
And I mean, I guess you need a story excuse for this Earth being under siege and the Defenders and everyone showing up to help. But I'm just like, was it also like a little subliminal thing where it's just like, oh, this League of Heroes is not as good as the Marvel heroes,
Yes.
Oh,
quite as good.
Might be right. No, he says wasn't the Squadron Roy Thomas?
Roy Thomas.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I bet.
I'm trying to think because wasn't it around? It was an Avengers issue, wasn't it? Like around 69 or 70?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It was an Avengers story. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out now. I'm curious.
Squadron Supreme. Oh, I was gonna say they'll probably. Well, Avengers 85 is the first Squadron Supreme, but was it Squadron Sinister was probably before that?
I think they were. I think they were the one that came first. Yeah.
Well, the 185 they said the first Squadron Supreme, that is Roy Thomas. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay. Noel said he looked it up. So yeah, so he probably
Yep, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Noel.
Oh, yeah, because don't they just like come? Don't the Avengers come back to the mansion one day and it's just like they're there?
Yeah. They're like, what's going on here?
There were so many comics, I'd say up through the 80s, maybe even early 90s, where people just like return to their headquarters and there's just like people in, like villains,
Yeah.
somebody in there.
Just hanging out. Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna kill you, and we drank all your soda.
Yeah, their feet up on the table. We ate all your food.
or like the first DeMatteis Justice League, where it opens up with Guy Gardner, feet up on the table, and be like, I'm gonna leave the new Justice League.
Yeah.
Then little did he know, like 3 issues later, Batman was gonna knock him out.
Punch him right in the face.
Exactly.
One of the best moments in comic book history.
Oh yeah. Oh, we might have to do an Unlimited Justice episode just so we can cover that. Oh,
Yeah.
Noel.
That'd be fun.
Reminds me of some punk houses I visited. Well, superheroes. But yeah, I love how like Beast was just like throwing a party.
Yeah.
Townhouse.
Yeah. And Gargoyle's referring to him as Mr. Beast.
First page, Hank McCoy's swinging from the chandelier by his feet.
Yeah. And then there's a cute little part with Valkyrie where Gargoyle says, disturb me? No, your change doesn't disturb me. Is it with all this Asgardian double talk? I can't understand half the things you're saying. He says,
Yeah, that's after on the first page she's cutting the ham with her sword.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, looks like a Thanksgiving feast on this.
So funny.
So what? So did Beast officially join an Avengers annual? Because there was that one editor's note that it said in the aforementioned Avengers annual.
Oh,
Avengers annual and Defenders 108 something. Yeah. Is that why? Is that when Valkyrie got her real body back? That's what.
Oh yes, that's with the Valkyrie plot. Yes. Yeah.
So I'm trying to remember. I mean, did DeMatteis start the new Defenders? Because I mean, are we setting it up here because we're bringing Beast in? Is that the start forming the new Defenders?
Yeah, I feel like the new Defenders was shortly after this.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'd say by the 112 or 113, if not before that. I don't know why I'm guessing. I'm on Marvel Unlimited at the moment.
Because all I remember is the cover when they changed the logo to the new Defenders, but I don't remember what issue that was.
Let me look here. I love how some series they don't have them all, but I think this Defender series they have all the issues on there.
It looks like it looks like they do.
That's like Lilf and I covered a 2-part Marvel team up story this morning. The first issue was on there. The second one wasn't. It was 53 and 54. 54 was not on the app.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, why do you have part 1 if you don't have part 2? And it's not like
Yeah.
a random character. It was Spider-Man and the Hulk. I'm like,
Yeah, I remember that story. That's a big deal.
yeah.
How ridiculous. It looks like the new Defenders is number 125. So it was, like a year after this story. So yeah, it looks like they were setting up to rebrand it or whatever. Yeah.
That does make sense with 125, yeah. JM didn't do many issues of Defenders before New Defenders. Yeah, I was gonna say because I remember some of the New Defenders I read. It wasn't DeMatteis. It was who was it?
Gillis.
125. Oh yeah. I was gonna say 125 is DeMatteis. So
yeah, it looks like around 130 is his last issue. It looks like, and then from 131 up until 152, the last issue, it's Gillis.
Oh no, 131. It is a DeMatteis. We have to do that one someday. Because I just got it because I was talking to the dollar bins. I did get the New Defenders 131.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yes, yeah.
Frogman tries to join the Defenders, and they have to fight the Walrus. Yes.
The Walrus. Yeah, I would love to cover that one.
I'm surprised there wasn't more Beatles references in that, because DeMatteis is a big beat, like John Lennon and stuff. Yeah.
I love these new Defenders issues too. These are great.
Yeah. Like I do want to read all the Defender stuff, but I really do want to. I do like that new Defender stuff. I want to read all of those.
Yeah, I hope they keep going with the Epic collections on those, because that's a good way to get it all in a hard physical format.
Oh yeah. No, we're gonna do that someday. That 131, because like I said, I picked that up in a dollar bin, and I was not disappointed. Oh god, I got it for like 50 cents. No, I was not disappointed that I made that purchase. No, I'm like, this is so utterly ridiculous. It's great.
Yeah,
I'm like,
they're ridiculous, but they're fantastic.
If it was any more ridiculous, it would have been Steve Kerber,
Right? Exactly.
That's the thing. That's why I love DeMatteis so much, because it's like he can write like something like really like serious, or like a psychological thing, or just some heavy stuff, and then the next issue you might turn around and it's like, oh yeah, here come Frogman bouncing in.
Frogman and the Toad. Yeah, exactly.
Or Eternity Century.
Yes. It's a nice balance. Yeah, I noticed that it was kind of like a rhythm, like he'd follow up a really heavy story with something more lighthearted to kind of balance it out a little bit.
Oh yeah, as we discussed, Jam loves Gerber. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know the one time Lilith and I talked to him about Amazing Spider-Man 400. Like he did the main story, then he did a backup with Stan Lee. He was all like, oh, I was all excited. He got to work with Stan Lee and stuff.
Nice.
Oh yeah. That. All right, should we get to the next one?
Yes.
Speaking of busy covers, just everyone slugging it out.
Yeah.
Overmind in the background.
Great cover.
Oh yeah. As I said, there's just a lot of characters on all these covers. There's a lot of characters on each one.
Yeah.
All right. Defenders number 113 from November 1982. Moon Madness. Writers J.M. DeMatteis and Don Perlin is also credited as a writer. Penciler Don Perlin, inker Mike Gustovich, colorist George Rose. Everyone's the same. So, but I like that one. So when the pen, you could tell the pencilers had feedback on this story, and
they kind of shaped the story together. Yeah, I like that.
I know some of the writers I've talked to, they'll be like, they'll ask their pencilers, what do you want to draw? And they'll like work it into the story. August Masters finds himself on Earth S, where Cal Richmond is the president of the United States, who has conquered the rest of the world. Seeing his own vision of U.S. dominance corrupted, Masters decides to assassinate Richmond. Meanwhile, Son of Satan's healing powers cure Hyperion of his Argonite poisoning, and the Defenders make plans to stop the Overmind. Without Galactus' barrier to hold him back on this world, Silver Surfer flies the Vision to the moon, where they attack Overmind's base and are confronted by the brainwashed Squadron Supreme. Suddenly, the other Defenders are transported to the moon by a being of psychic energy that resembles Mindy Williams and is comprised of the minds of her and the other telepaths who were fused together in the explosion that destroyed Master's base. Again, last episode, kids. Mindy, quote unquote, claims to have sent Nighthawk to Earth S to save him from the explosion. The Defenders defeat the squadron, but are no match for the power of the Overmind. Suddenly, Master shows up and shoots President Richmond, and the Overmind falls. Something dark begins to rise from the president's body, which is soon revealed as Null, the Living Darkness, aka Lauren Boebert.
I don't think I'd rather make out with Null, the Living Darkness.
Oh!
I'd rather feel those tentacles groping me up than her nasty withered claws.
Ah!
I don't think those are tentacles.
All right, so thoughts on this issue?
There's a lot going on here. Again, I had forgotten that the psychic being was a manifestation of all of the telepaths that
Yeah.
had been used in the other story until we read these kind of back to back. Yeah, and I love how those two stories were linked up that way. That's so cool. I liked how also I'd forgotten about how Damon Hellstrom was using his powers to heal Hyperion.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't really see that a lot, him using his powers to heal people, but here he is kind of curing Hyperion of his Argonite, aka Kryptonite, poisoning.
Which again, I mean, I guess it makes sense because if he's like Superman, he's vulnerable to magic or mysticism, so
Right.
no problem there.
But having it being used to cure him, I thought
Yeah.
that was cool. Yeah, I liked that. That was cool. And just the whole battle between the two teams, I love it. As I've said before, one of my favorite things is two super teams duking it out at the same time. I love it. I'm a kid in a candy store for that type of stuff. And here we have all these characters just going crazy and fighting each other. It's fantastic.
And just the joy for the Silver Surfer. He's like, oh yeah, this is a different Earth. There's no barrier there.
Right, yeah. And the Vision's like, shouldn't we go back? Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
As long as there's not a Silver Surfer here who was imprisoned by his own Galactus. Yeah, no, there should be
right.
a barrier.
Yeah. And this was fun, too, to see this battle. I mean, we get to see Valkyrie versus Princess Power and a Gargoyle versus the Golden Archer. I mean, it's great. Amphibian versus Namor.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Imperius Rex my bed's here. Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Imperius Rex my bed. Yeah, there's no contest.
I was about to say there were so many characters in this. I forgot Namor was here.
Right.
Someone's favorite character. Namor.
One way trip to Biscuit Town. I'm gonna eat this up with a fork and spoon.
Namor in his little trunks.
I love it.
Yeah, that's right. The green trunks only.
Yes.
No other look.
And
I've forgotten how powerful Overmind is. Like Hulk and Hyperion both like punch him right in the head at the same time. And
Yeah,
he just
well,
shrugs it off and completely blasts them away.
But meanwhile, because it's like what he's like the combination of like all the minds of like a whole race of conquerors who were so petty. They're like, yeah, we're gonna live on in one body as one entity and just keep trying to go on conquering.
Kind of like in that Superman story that we reviewed recently over on Electric Mullet, The Host, like a repository of all of the last thoughts of that civilization, whatever it was called. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Noel already has suggestions for next Defenduary. Maybe we should do another Defenduary next year.
Oh, Omega the Unknown.
Yeah.
Yes,
Again, we keep throwing out suggestions. We might have another Defenduary in us. Yeah, the Omega, the Unknown stuff. There's
so much
that new Defenders issue I was talking about. Oh yeah,
yeah, the new one. Stephen Grant issues where I'd love to do that. Yeah.
Heck,
I was just thinking about Omega the Unknown, how that would make a great epic collection if they collected all that stuff. I think all of that would fit into one volume.
Yeah, how many issues do you get in an epic collection?
I think it's around 23 or 4 or something like that. 24 or something like that, yeah.
And then August Masters, just after the explosion, is just teleported to this work.
Yeah. Can you imagine? This massive explosion happens. You think you're dead. No, you've been spirited away to a parallel universe instead.
And I love it's like, oh, this plan you had to take over the whole country and the world, it succeeded, but it's not you, it's somebody else.
Yeah, somebody else did it. And it's this 7-foot tall alien called the Overmind. He's responsible for it.
Oh yeah, what did you think of this Nighthawk costume? Because I think that's the first thing, one of the first things Grunwald has Nighthawk do in that Squadron Supreme series is go back to his
Yeah. I don't really care for it. It's weird to see him with his whole face covered like that.
Yeah. The bird nose.
Yeah. It seems more kind of like Hawkman.
Kind of, yeah.
Batman, which is the riff that they were going for with Nighthawk. He was Marvel's Batman. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird looking. Yeah,
it is.
But it didn't last for very long. They switched it back pretty quick. Yeah, what did you think of this one, Phil? Where this was again your first time reading this? Yeah.
Again, I loved it. I mean, again, there's a lot going on. There's so many characters, and I love Banner just changing back into the Hulk because he can't fix the machine. It's just like, come on, I've been working on this teleporter for days.
Yeah. Snaps the wrench. And there's a great little exchange between him and Namor, too. Namor's talking trash to him, and the Hulk says, if Fishman doesn't like Hulk, maybe he would like Hulk to throw him back into the ocean.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to start scrapping right here on this parallel Earth.
Oh, before I forget, though, speaking of the Hulk, I did just recently. I've been trying to catch up on some of my podcasts. I did listen to you and Russell's last episode on the Bi Beast.
Oh yes,
that was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we had fun with that.
And yes,
that's going to be an annual tradition. We're going to do a Bi Beast.
Thank goodness in that drawing, his head isn't on top, so his beard isn't covering you. So.
I love that drawing. That is
I know that is
great.
Howdy, y'all.
But yeah, this is good.
Yeah. And again, what an unexpected ending, right? I mean, I obviously I knew what was happening because I read the last issue of this story first as a kid, but if you are reading it for the first time, it's really unexpected. Like all of a sudden there's this black energy kind of leaving the body of this Earth's Kyle Richmond, and then these tentacles start coming out, and then there's Null the Living Darkness.
Oh yeah, the last page. That is an awesome.
Yeah. So good, right? Yeah.
I know, man. That thing's scary. The other thing scarier would be Lauren Boebert.
Like I said, I'd rather make out with Null.
But yeah, I mean, the art in this is good too. Like Don Perlin doing like George Perez level work. I mean, there's the numbers in this book. I mean,
yeah, all these characters and the amount of detail in each panel is really nice. Yeah, even in some of the background stuff. But yeah, that last page, that full page of Null and all the heroes just kind of being like, oh, wow. That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Well, that escalated.
Yeah, they don't really know what to do.
Once again, Will Hellfire's protege over here. Play my clip.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yes, and
great story.
And the return of Nighthawk.
Bird time.
Yeah, bird time. Yeah.
All right.
I'm glad he didn't stay away long.
Yeah, well, so there's a twist, as we'll see in this last one.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so we get to the last one?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, Defenders 114 from December 1982. Dance of Darkness, Dance of Light. Same teams again, because DeMatteis and Perlin are both credited, because I think on the last one it was saying, plot by DeMatteis and Perlin and script by DeMatteis. So
yeah, they plotted it together.
Yeah. It turns out that the Overmind who took control of the Squadron Supreme and Earth S was himself being manipulated by Null the Living Darkness all the time. Null explains how, after his battle against the Defenders in Christianboro, he fought Ghost Rider. Man, we need to. I don't think that issue's on the app. We need to. I mean, I have a copy of it. We need to get you a copy of that. I want to. That is. I love that issue.
Oh yeah,
Was Zarathos fighting Null? Yeah.
Was it Ghost Rider number 71?
I think so. Yeah.
I think that's what it says in the note.
Yeah. I know it.
I definitely want to read that.
Yeah. I think I believe it is DeMatteis, and I think it might even be Perlin too. So.
Oh right, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't read that yet.
Just Zarathos just like flying out. He like uses Null's infected this guy. Ghost Rider just like crashes into the floor of this guy's house and like beating the crap out of him in front of him and stuff. It's so great. And then anyone else would be like, well, we gotta have to try to save this guy without beating Null without. Zarathos just blasts him with hellfire. Like,
he doesn't care. He's the perfect hero to go up against.
Oh yeah, he just stands there cackling when he's done. It's
a good day's work is done.
Seriously, he's like, yeah, then you serve, bitch. Realizing that he had not fully evolved, Null sought out a pawn and found the Overmind, who had been driven mad after being reduced to microscopic size by the stranger. Traveling through the microverse, they accidentally wound up on Earth S, where Null guided the Overmind's shattered psyche and put his plans into motion. All the while, he hid within the body of President Cal Richmond, gestating and growing stronger as he siphoned off the Overmind's mental power. When Nighthawk blames Null for the president's death, Null is confused and sees something wrong with his mind. Before Null can elaborate, the psychic being composed of Mindy Williams and the other telepaths reappear and Hyperion attacks him. The Defenders and Squadron Supreme are helpless against Null's power until Mindy joins all of their psyches together in an attempt to harness their inner goodness to combat Null's dark power. After a fierce psychic battle, the psychic link holding the heroes' minds together begins to weaken and Null appears victorious. Unable to maintain their corporeal form as Mindy, the psychics defeat Null by turning his own inner goodness upon him. That goodness that once possessed by the Seraph race who he was spawned from, and then possesses the body of the now mindless Overmind. However, August Masters sees that President Richmond's body has deteriorated, revealing that he was actually a mechanical construct created by Null. Nighthawk's true memory returns, and he realizes that he is not the Nighthawk from the Defenders Earth. He is the Earth S Nighthawk, a.k.a. President Cal Richmond. Yeah. So I wonder, was that DeMatteis' plan all along, or was it just like, nah, I'm not going to bring him back? Or
I don't know.
Playing that plot twist the whole time? Because it's so weird. Because it's like all this. Well, I say survived, but all the telepaths kind of survived in a new form. August Masters got teleported and survived. But meanwhile, at this point, it looks like the only casualty of that explosion was Cal Richmond.
Yeah.
Until the 90s. Yeah. Was it the late 90s or something?
Was that when they brought him back?
I think they said. I think it was that miniseries I haven't read, but I think they said, yeah, because I think that's when they reveal he's been in a coma that whole time or something.
No kidding. I'll have to go back and read that too because I haven't read that. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to find that and do that because you know what? Maybe by next year we'll see if we can find that. Because I don't think
maybe that'll be on the app. Yeah. By this time next year,
or maybe we can find the back issues or something. Because it's
yeah.
It's like, so, because I wonder how they explain how he survived, because it's like, it seems like Mindy and none of them knew he survived. So it's like,
yeah, and they're telepaths, so they would have like picked up on his brain signals or something, right?
Unless Dr. Strange was playing dumb or something. It's just like, how the hell to get out of there?
That's so weird. Yeah, that's got to be way. That was always one character that I wanted to get into more, but never did. Like I always enjoyed it. Yeah, I always enjoyed his stuff in the Defenders and elsewhere. But as far as his more recent stuff, I haven't been able to find any of it really.
Yeah, and again, I think like more recent iterations have been different characters. It hasn't been Cal Richmond, so
that's true too. So it's a little confusing to go into it that way. Yeah. But yet this issue, I mean, wow, this is a kind of an epic conclusion to this story, where you have all of these heroes basically merging into one being to face Null, the Living Darkness, in battle. It's crazy.
And we've got basically two beings that are composites of like a whole race. So the Overmind and Null are both like, you know, these combination beings.
Yeah. Like the legacies of their respective races. Yeah. I forget what Overmind's race was called, but yeah, the Null, his race was called the Seraph. And they had basically...
It basically looked like angels. They had like wings or something back.
They were angels, but they had become despondent because of, I guess, they had become obsessed with the meaning of life, or the meaning of the purpose, the truth of their cosmos, of the universe or something. And they just kind of given into despair about everything and collectively committed suicide. And the result of that despair was Null, the Living Darkness. I love that. I thought that was such a cool idea it's a cool concept for a creature, for a character.
Yeah, I swear Marvel, they've done that at least one or two times before, where it's basically like, you know, the alien race gets so bored because they've perfected it, you know, they've like cheated all disease and death, and they, you know, basically beaten everything, and, you know, everything's too perfect, so they get bored.
Right.
It like drives them insane, pretty much.
Yeah.
Too perfect. Yeah.
They don't have anything left to strive for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I read the part about the stranger, it clicked something in my head the other day. I saw it. Just I have a random stuff pop up on Facebook, and someone posted about an old Silver, like from Silver Surfer's first series. What was that, like 1968 or something?
Oh, yeah.
It's like towards the end of the run, because the run was only like 18 issues or 17 or 18 issues. Towards the end of the run, there's one where it looks like it said witches, but it looked like guys, so it should have probably been warlocks or something. But it looks like some coven of witches or whatever. Like, it says that they bring back the Abomination, and I'm just like, wait, did the Abomination die at some point? They brought him back, and so like, I did some research, and it's like, no, it's like he didn't die. These like coven of witches like bring him back, and like he starts battling the Surfer. They bring him back from the Stranger's world, like the Stranger took. It's when the Stranger took the Abomination. I guess some witches get him back, and it's like, what the hell?
What they do? Teleport him out of the Stranger's lair?
I guess it was just like a magic spell or something. I didn't read the issue, but I read the synopsis. I'm just like, so they just like magic to teleport him back. And I'm like,
okay,
we're doing this in a Silver Surfer. Like
they teleported him out just for the purpose of that story, and then afterwards they put him back. They're like, we don't want him.
Somebody was smoking some good stuff when they
smoked it, Juby.
What has it the
What's the late 60s?
What has it the Surfer battled yet? Witches, yeah, man.
Witches, yeah.
Man, witches, yeah.
Yeah. From space.
Yeah. I wonder if they were from space, but they were drawing from space. The more I explain it, the more ridiculous it sounds. We might have to do. Oh, that's
we might have to cover some of that too.
You know, dude, that's what we need to do one month. It's just like, it doesn't matter what the character is. We just need to find the most ridiculous stories we can find and be like, this. Most ridiculous stuff.
The most far out there stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Probably 70% of it was written by Steve Gerber.
Yeah.
It all depends.
There's a couple of those early Guardians of the Galaxy Steve Gerber stories that are pretty out there.
Oh yeah.
There's one where there's a whole galaxy that's basically a man, like his whole body is the galaxy.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, it's wild stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, it depends. It's like sliding scale. Sometimes ridiculous is good, and sometimes ridiculous is just ridiculous.
It depends on like how many issues they have to tell the story.
Yeah.
Like if it's a really ridiculous story, but they can, and it's fairly simple and basic, they can do it in one issue. But if they're trying to do a lot of different things within the confines of that, then I think it's better if they have a few issues to do that with.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So, any other thoughts on this, Justin?
Well, just reading back on this, thinking back as a 6 or 7-year-old kid reading this, I'm not surprised that I had no clue what was going on in here. I mean, all these characters, like, and most of them, I had no clue who they were. Like, I had no clue who the Squadron Supreme was. I barely had a clue who most of the Defenders were. And this psychic being, like, I had no clue about what she was about and all this other stuff. But I remember very vividly the part that scared the hell out of me was when, as a kid, as a 6 or 7-year-old kid reading this, and the part where August Masters finds the body of Kyle Richmond and the face kind of like melts away and like and he goes, "It's not even human." Like, that part creeped me out as a kid. That whole sequence. I don't know why, but it really it got under my skin and it creeped me out.
I do remember that because, like, when I was like that age, like I was telling Lilith when we did it, like the first appearance of Man Wolf in the Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
they had put that out. It was like they put out like an actual. It was like a reprint of the comic, and it was actually like was it a 45? They put it out on a record, like it was like the audio.
Oh
yeah, they put out, but like just reading this book, like the Man Wolf like freaked me out. That was
yeah, I remember that was really good too. They
yeah.
It was almost kind of like an old horror movie, but
yes,
in a comic book.
Yeah, that was like some of my first exposure to horror stuff. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
So when the face melted off, were you just like, let's get back to this cute fish man?
Yeah, exactly. I want to see more, name more.
Who do I know? I know Hulk, and I know the cute fish man. That's
yeah. And I knew some of the Avengers and Doctor Strange. Like I knew a lot of those people, but yeah, I was so confused as a kid reading this issue. But I love the artwork, like the whole sequence where Null kind of rises from the pit and then kind of like disintegrates, kind of shrinks into this little gem that then goes into Overmind's chest. Like, the whole sequence is really great.
Oh yeah.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall back then, 40 years ago, and watched J.M. DeMatteis and Don Perlin working out this story and talking about the visual cues and things like that. I think it would have been so cool to see them flesh this out.
Oh yeah. There's so many stories. I'm like, man, I wish it would be a fly on the wall. That's why I love talking to Chichester every month. I'm just like, any question I've ever had about his stuff, I'm like, well, what were you doing? What were you thinking?
Yeah.
And sometimes you're on the money, and sometimes it's like, no, I was not thinking that at all. It's like, oh man,
I love that. Yeah, so cool.
That's why it's so nice to talk about like his currently, like his current stuff now, because it's all fresh in his head.
Yeah, Daredevil Black Armor.
Come on, DeMatteis, we'll talk to you every month. I
know that's right. He's a busy guy, though. He's still writing all those new books.
I know, like how many decades later, and he's cranking the machine, cranking stuff out.
I love it.
I mean, he'll still write stuff for Marvel. Meanwhile, he's like putting out his own
own stuff. Yeah,
he's got like 4 creator-owned books or something.
Yeah, I've got to get that one with him and Tom Mandrake. I've got to get that.
Yeah. I keep meaning that. I want to get those. Yeah, all this stuff. Yeah, because he found a sweet deal on Kickstarter. Like some company, they're like, you know what, we'll handle all the, the advertising and geez, like they're just like, you write and we'll handle all the business end.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I love it.
All right, so can we put this Defenduary to bed?
Yeah, I think so. What do you think, Phil?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, I think it's it seems like the audience demands more Defenduary next year.
Yeah,
I have to do that.
I think you're right, and I'm all for it. I love the Defenders, as you know, and there's one of the things that I love the most about them is pretty much exemplified in Defenduary is the nice variety of stories. I mean, in all 4 episodes that we did this month, they were all really different from each other.
Oh yeah. I mean,
even though one of the writers was the same, they were all very different stories.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because I mean, we did at least. I know we did 2 different writers. We did 3. Yeah, we did 3 different writers. Yeah,
3.
Yeah. That's the thing, because the roster will change, the writer will change. So yeah, I mean,
So cool.
They're fresh.
Yeah.
All right, kids. So yes, that'll be the end of Defenduary. Well, for this year. Next month, we got basic. Well, you get 5 episodes next. Wait, yeah, 5 episodes next month, kids. Because the first 3 we're going to talk some Hawkeye.
That's right. The Avenging Archer himself.
Yes. Next episode we'll cover the 4-issue Hawkeye miniseries from 1983 by one of our personal favorites, Mark Gruenwald.
Yes. Love this one.
Yes, and then the week after that, we'll cover the first 6 issues of the 2003-2004 Hawkeye series. I can't wait to get your take on that. That's it's been a while since I read it, but it's
I'm excited for that.
a little different. Yeah, and then yes, and then we'll do the first 5 issues of the 2012 Hawkeye series.
Yeah, that's good stuff too.
Oh yeah. By Matt Fraction. Yeah.
Matt Fraction, yeah. Really good stuff.
And then, because by then we'll both have our omnibuses. Yes, the last 2 episodes of February, you're gonna get some ROM, kids.
Yes, Romnibus will be in our hands finally.
We'll probably
Hopefully by that time. Yeah,
probably be around 4 issues a piece, right? I mean, neither one of us have read it yet, so but yeah.
Well, if I remember from reading them, the individual ones, the stories were pretty much self-contained in each issue. But there was an underlying plot going through the whole thing, of course, tying it all together.
So stay tuned for an update, kids. But yeah, as of right now, it'll probably be like 1 to 4 and 5 to 8. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to give too much. Well, I don't want to give too much away. But in March, we're going to be covering a certain character none of you probably heard of. But he is the best there is at what he does.
And it's his 50th birthday.
Yes.
Yeah. Turning the old 50. The
best there is at what he does, and what he does isn't pretty. That's right, kids. Iron Fist. No. Oh, kids. Yeah. Now we're gonna cover Wolverine, a bunch of Wolverine in March, kids. So
to celebrate the anniversary.
So yeah, lots of good stuff coming. So yes, send us feedback. You will win a prize. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise, again, t-shirts, cups, phone cases, Cash App link, just if you want to be nice and rain random money on us. Yes, the Cash App link is there.
Make it rain.
Oh, I told Lilith this morning. It seems we've got a new subscriber to our Patreon.
Nice.
Unless it's someone under assumed name, I don't think it's anyone we even know. So it's just
cool.
So we have a new Patreon member again. But again, we can always use more. And I'm pretty sure the new one's also a male. But we need some more females in here, kids. So yes. But anyway, everyone.
All the bonus episodes, all the perks, all the good stuff.
Everyone's welcome.
Uncensored Lilith.
Yes, and yes, we're getting. I don't know if you listened to January's episode yet, Justin, but February's gonna be even.
I haven't had a chance yet.
Oh, we'll tell. Listen to it, and me and Loaf will tell you what we're doing in February.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna be snowed in tomorrow, so I'll have a chance to listen to it finally.
Oh, did you not get any snow yet?
Not yet.
Oh, it's snowed here, but it was only like an inch or 2. It wasn't nothing.
Oh. Yeah, we're supposed to get bombed tomorrow. So
yeah, but you're up in the north there, so
yes, by the coast. Yep.
Oh, by the coast, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Pennsylvania because we're a little packed in because it's like we're like far enough inland and we got all the hills and stuff. Because I know them in Ohio, man, there was always like tornado warnings and stuff. Storms. I'm just like, nice little hill.
Where Russell is too. He's got to worry about those tornadoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Midwest there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, kids. So yes, please subscribe to the Patreon. I promised, and so far I have delivered. Every month, well, we're in 1 month so far, but every month, Lilith Hellfire is in 2024 has been more
vicious and brutal than
ever. And again, you'll walk away shaking your head every time, saying,
"Oh, that's naughty."
All right, find everything at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. All right, so now we're going to hear from the new king of podcasting.
It's me, the Owl.
You can hear him here every
Duke
week.
of podcasting.
Marvel Tales. You can hear him the last week of every month on We Are the Night, the Batman
The
podcast.
Batman podcast with
Now-
Russell.
I was going to say, now with added Russell, as we cover all we started on the Azrael solo series.
Yes, I'm so excited about that. I love it.
Yes, in the February episode, I believe Miss Hellfire already said she's joining us. So
Yes,
because we'll cover Azrael 6 through 9 on episode 169.
that's right. Double numerical.
Double numerical for me.
The biscuits for me.
You can hear this man twice a month on Electric Mullet, the Superman podcast with myself and Mr. Tyler Patrick. You can hear him once a month on Energon Universe with me and once again Russell's. We talk all the new Transformers and G.I. Joe content coming out of Image. And of course, he does other things outside of here. So, Justin, where else can people find you?
Yes, you can also find me and Russell over on Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is, where we talk about the Incredible Hulk and the sensational She-Hulk 3 times a month. We have 2 regular episodes and 1 live episode where we talk about the new comics every month. We also have a Patreon, so do check that out. And we can also be found over on Predator and Prey, the Yucha podcast, with our pal Ray, the High Priest of Khonshu himself, where we talk about Fox's Predator twice a month in comics, action figures, games, movies, and more. And also me and Russell can be found over on Gone the Form of Man, the Etrigan podcast, where we talk all about DC's Demon, going all the way back to Jack Kirby's classic series, which we're covering in full. And last but not least, the Lost Library of Legends is still chugging along, and I will be recording a new episode next week.
Oh, nice.
Cobra! La 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 la.
It's not about that.
I bet you it's going to be something like
Going back to the 90s here, bitch.
Yes. That is exactly right.
nice. Oh, then. You're like being Lilith's child. You're something like Lilith or something like me. Yeah, stuff. Yeah. Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Amalgamation.
All right, kids. Thank you for joining us for the first annual Defenduary. Sounds like you're going to do more next year.
Returning tradition. Yeah.
Oh, this may be the new Hawk Gobble Gobble. Oh, yeah.
I think that should happen.
I just hear Lil Foul. Don't make me do more Defenders on Spider Cast. I don't know. I think she enjoyed the Hulk episode. And
Yeah, I mean that's a good.
So yeah,
That 2-part story is great.
I think the only one she had to struggle with is Nighthawk and Valkyrie.
Oh well. Yeah.
All right, kids, come back next time. Unless you're on a parallel Earth. Good night.